Hello, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. It's time for probably the last episode of the first game. We're going to be pinning, what was the guy's name? Crogray, I think.
Rupert Crogray, yeah.
Yeah,
He's Egg Benedict still in our hearts.
yeah, he'll always be the Egg Benedict. I actually am curious if he reappears at all in the second game.
Probably. Unless he mysteriously dies
Oh
what's
yeah,
his name did.
the moment of the shooting. Yeah, he looks like he's just about to spit straight facts. Everything that totally happened. Okay.
Definitely not embellished in any way.
What's his voice again? It was like...
While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Winterbank threw Nemi over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shoved himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Are you sure?
She had a black coat.
I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl.
She... Oh. Wait a second.
Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape.
I have a feeling
What
that...
No. She was holding the gun. When we found her, she was holding it. What is this shit he's saying?
Wait, what? Yeah. He picked it up and made his escape, what?
Also, how the fuck do you throw the gun through the peephole? What are you... Huh?
Good gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony.
What a bitch.
He's smiling now.
Yeah.
You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger.
Why didn't you start with that if that was the case?
Yeah.
Why do we even trust this guy? Order! Order! Order!
It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit.
Oh.
So you see, my hand has been forced. I'll tell the truth now, as an act of self-preservation.
Oh yeah, and you couldn't tell it earlier, obviously.
Yeah. Unlike earlier when you denied being there at all. Also, like the I just noticed this recently, but the way like the shadows on his hair look, it kind of feels like it's like a wig that he's put on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, I'm sorry about that.
Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood.
Wait, so he was shot in the... He was shot in the back, and then, like, the blood from his back, like...
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Burst onto the coat, like,
there was,
somehow.
hardly any blood from him, though.
Yeah. Hang on, we do have the picture. The picture of him on the ground. There is some blood, but he's on top of it, and there's none of his on his clothing.
It's not like exploding out.
He had also.
Actually, give me a second. I need to grab something in my room.
Oh, okay. I'll pause. Okay. So yeah, I was checking this.
Christ.
And what's strange is that not only is he like on top of the blood puddle, which would imply he would be injured from the front, there's also no like blood straining from his clothing onto the ground.
No. Like with the
doesn't
amount
make
of
any
blood
sense.
that's underneath. With the amount of blood that's underneath, and you would think like there would be a copious amount of bleeding coming from the bullet hole in his back, but there's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's seeped into the floorboards too.
You say the blood...
You say the blood spattered all over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point?
Yeah, because we couldn't see the bloodstains on her coat until we analyzed it.
Yeah.
And those were not That wasn't even that wasn't even Windibank's blood. It was thrice-fired mortar.
Oh yeah,
If
but
she-
he's
if
probably
she
going
had-
to claim that like the invention
Yeah.
is useless or something.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh
bitch.
yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time.
Really?
You keep.
Really?
Even the judge and the prosecution are like, I'm not buying that.
Do tell. If her coat somehow could be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here.
Hint.
Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What?
Will delay the proceedings of the case by another 2 hours.
Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood.
Uh-huh.
The medic from Team Fortress 2. So here's the true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
Okay, bitch.
There's nothing dubious about Holmes's work. His ideas are all sound.
Well, not quite, but ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand.
Yeah, if only
R/atheist.
Sherlock wasn't in his fucking coma right now.
In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission, oh that's convenient,
How
it's
is
going to
this-
show there's going
So
to
how
be
is
blood.
this much different? How is this much different from what Iris was doing?
Because
Oh my God, did you have to do that?
Holmes's methods were not approved by the Vatican. We could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes.
Well, do it then.
This doesn't look good, were you?
Why not? What do you mean why not?
Think about it, you dumbass.
No, don't we? There's blood all over the front of Genevieve's coat. If they test it with their chemicals,
Oh hell,
Oh.
you're right.
Oh, help.
Oh hell no, you're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday.
Oh, beans.
No, shoot. I'm going to shoot you. I love that transition to like an idle pose.
This coat isn't even black.
That's not Mr. Windibank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mortar's blood from when he was stabbed by McGondel, who was wearing the coat at the time.
Yeah, why'd you have to do that?
My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution.
I also want to
Overruled.
point out.
What
I
do you
also
say?
want to point out. She was wearing the coat, but it wasn't buttoned up. Can you look at the picture of her holding the gun? Like on the floor? Can we do that? We have that one?
it, maybe. That's
just
the
have the ones
second
with-
one.
These are the ones in the store.
No, we don't have it.
Ah, damn. Well, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure with the picture of her lying on the floor, doesn't have the coat buttoned up. It's open like it is right now, and if she had
Oh, yeah.
shot him and so-called got the blood all over the front of her, it would be on her, like, undershirt and her green coat,
Yeah, but
and the overcoat, but it's not.
they're probably gonna gloss over that, like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
of course.
You know, realistically, yeah, the stain should be, like, all
You know,
over
it
her
should,
front.
but...
Not just, like, conveniently on the coat itself. Lord
how it is.
make it a so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel! Yes, my lord. Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. This cross-examination doesn't go well. If I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. He's thinking. Oh yeah, we still have
We
4
just press
strikes.
him on everything as usual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Shit.
Oh. From the music box steak incident. Mr. Windebank emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Tully and Nemi were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close.
I've never been so scared in all my life.
Yeah, it's just minor burglars, that's all. We don't like violence.
Says the
He's
pair
technically
carry
not
a
wrong.
gun.
He's technically not wrong. Most people who are trying to like steal shit just want to like get the stuff and leave so they can flip it for
Yeah.
profit. They don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, because that would make an even worse sense than just like killing someone.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop?
I was in the doorway running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items.
And why is that?
Looking for the music box, of course.
The broker went for Nemi in the first place. Then Tully joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could handle the situation.
So I just went back to fucking combing my hair in the reflection of the mirror.
But I was wrong. I was cracking an egg in my hair.
I was trying to help the old brush, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter.
So I pulled me gun on the old fella, and that's made him scapper.
The pair of you setting upon the poor defenseless pawnbroker together. Shame on you.
Sorry, Guff.
When the wind made for me, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Okay.
Hold it!
You mean that's the moment you were shot?
Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot.
What?
Huh?
You were so blinded by pain that you didn't hear the gunshot.
You know how it
And
is.
the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you.
So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped up my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal.
A bullet?
I didn't
Wound?
imagine it would
Okay.
still be bleeding 2 days later.
I don't think you know how bullets work, my
Yeah.
man.
I mean, to be fair, it didn't hit him, it hit like the calendar behind him. But
Yeah.
still.
It's still a bullet passing through your body that's gonna leave a pretty nasty wound.
Yeah, that's not gonna heal in 2 days. Does Mr. Windebank intend to shoot you, do you think?
Well, no, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I think this is something you can get an achievement for. So
Uh-huh.
I'll do this now.
Excuse me.
Mr. Nemi Tinpiller, do you have something to add?
Hey, what?
Something that was said just now appears to have got you thinking.
Oh, well, yeah, I was just thinking about me bro Sulky.
Oh, the one you've lost touch with?
Yeah, gore, he could be a right nasty piece of work sometimes, that one. Always used to nab me share of the grub when we had anything to eat.
He does sound like a very mean man.
Oi, what are you looking at for me, sunshine?
You get an achievement?
Well, I have to do it again. I'll do it on
Oh,
this
okay.
one. And then we do this the same for the second one.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Mr. Tilly Tinpiller, do you have something to add?
What?
Something that was said just now appears to have got you thinking.
Oh, well, yeah, I was just thinking about me bro, Sulky.
Oh, the one you've lost touch with?
Yeah, blimey, it could be a saint sometimes, that one. I was just to give my share of his grub when he had anything to eat.
Oh!
He sounds like a very kind man.
That'll work.
Get out of it, these chips are mine. I'm not sharing.
Yeah, that's what you
Okay.
get an achievement for. I didn't get it now because I already did it in between sessions.
Okay.
But okay, I have to press him again because we didn't get to the end of this one.
Okay. Why did they even put so out of the way?
I don't know. The achievement is called
Starla.
like Sulky's story. Oh, okay. History.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that one?
Well, now, I don't imagine he
Yeah.
even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home. When I pulled me gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way.
Now let me scamper through that door out back. At which point, what did you do?
I shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The what? I think. Okay.
Isn't that kind of small?
It's the cat door thing in the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You mean you chased after him?
I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop.
And what about this peephole in the door you mentioned?
Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom's door is a solid job made of stout wood. But there's a
Oh,
small
okay.
opening in it about a head high that lets you see what's in there from the outside.
Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
I looked through it myself that night. Here's me looking.
Yeah, okay.
And what about your burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well?
Nemi wouldn't be able
Not
to.
likely, Guff.
Didn't see nothing around the sword gun.
The short one, Tully, I think.
Tully, I think Temmie is the tall one, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't actually remember.
I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence.
So the Templar brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windenbank take place.
Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
Should I? Should I?
Should you?
Excuse me? The other one's still stuck. God damn, I thought that would be something, but no.
uh, Same.
Because we now know that sometimes things happen when you aren't like notified about it.
yeah.
So I wanted to like do some 4D chess. Okay.
There's me looking
We
again.
can look at her. It doesn't. Yeah, it looks unbuttoned.
Yeah, it's not buttoned.
Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendant?
Yes, though neither of them noticed I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man.
From what angle?
From behind.
And then?
What did you see next? Why would he be facing the opposite direction from her? If she was intending to kill him.
He fucking like moonwalked into the storeroom,
Yeah, just
and then
Like, oh, I'm about to be hit by the smooth criminal.
that's good.
Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with the gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windenbank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Crogray, that bullet was fired at you.
But no.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. It wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windenbank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Templar's brother's gun grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely, a third gun.
Where did it come from? The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Prove it.
Prove it, yeah. But no other gun was found at the scene.
Oh my god, this dick.
Calm yourself, Council. Sorry? You must consider the events in order. At first I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment the little gutter rat shot him in the back. A chilling image, I must say.
Okay.
Hold it! All over her? Yes, through the peephole I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, what with the coat being such a dark color. But I assure you, that garnet is sullied with the victim's blood.
How about the like white underskirt she's wearing? Wouldn't it
Yeah.
get on there too?
Yeah. Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure.
It's not Mr. Winterbank's blood, is it?
No, that's right. It's Mr. Mortimer Milverton's blood from when McGondo stabbed him 2 months ago.
It's so annoying. If they only accept Holmes's chemical analysis, we could prove that.
But they won't, so unfortunately we can't use it as evidence to support our case.
Real issue.
Bother.
Oh, bother.
Why would she throw the gun out of the peephole? How did she come to throw the gun out of the peephole and then come to hold another gun?
Yeah,
But this makes no sense.
why would she throw it at them? She's not
Also, I'm pretty
Edgeworth.
sure the gun she was found holding was Mr. Winterbank's.
Yeah, she decided to feint with the other
have
gun
so
to
many-
make herself look innocent.
I have so many different questions to ask you.
Goddamn clever girl.
Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room.
Normal thing to do.
That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over.
None of them are reacting, so... Alright.
Over where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then... the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. But why
Here
on
you go,
earth would
buddy. I
she
don't
do
need this
such a
gun
thing?
anymore.
Here you go. A yummy snack.
I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon.
Then why was she found holding it?
Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was right about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place.
Yeah, I don't believe like any word of that. Van Zeeks doesn't either.
So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime? Where is it then, pussy?
Show me, bitch.
Yes, it was yours truly.
Why? What did you do?
I left it clear up to my lackeys and left.
How does this somehow like resolve him of responsibility?
Yeah,
What's
how does this
going
make you
on?
innocent again? Clear up.
We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so I made Mr. Whistle and Flutair told us to tidy up.
Oh,
So Mr. Whistle and Flutair told us to tidy up.
He thinks he's the blooming mum sometimes.
Well, I was paying you enough, by God.
Tell me, Mr. Crogray, when you left the pawnbrokery that night,
Was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
I'm not gonna show you.
No.
You little
That guy
toe rag!
reacted.
You're like a bull out of gate, aren't you?
what?
Whoa! What the fuck?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, can you stop like shaking that man?
Gentlemen!
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen?
Something wrong, sunshine?
You were literally just choking him.
So that should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Tinpillar.
Blimey! It's this a bit of a hooligan, eh?
What was that going on just now?
You saw him, he grabbed me whistle. Why the blazes, he said. Why didn't you mention the fur gun when we got you down to the station?
Why didn't you?
Yeah, why
Cause
didn't you?
we didn't know nothing about it, or the flaming people in the door.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my racks sometimes. Not hurt, are you?
Oh,
Jesus.
blimey, see the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, that D gives me the willies.
That was strange. Inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Toby at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him.
I think that's just with you.
Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to eating his fish and chips like nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
My
Oh,
lord!
It's gonna be the yep.
Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination.
Explain yourself, officer.
I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord.
Ah, the blood. Ah, the blood on the
He-
accused's
He really
overcoat.
is like fucking what's his name?
Alucard.
Alucard, yeah.
Yeah.
What is a man?
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel.
Yeah, I do,
No,
actually.
my lord. What if I said yes? Let's say hypothetically, I said yes.
Well, there you have it.
The report, please, Inspector.
Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of a spattering following a gunshot wound. End of report.
Come on. There's
Goodness
nothing
me.
else?
Oh, it's gonna be like a third summation examination.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
See? What did I tell you?
No, the blood on that coat is not Mr. Windibank's.
What on earth makes you say that, counsel?
It's
coat-
2 months old, and it's purple.
Yeah, the blood is purple, Your Honor. The coat originally belongs to Cosney McGondle. Just before his coat was deposited at Windibanks, McGondle had fatally stabbed Mr. Mortar with Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection! Well, the dead cannot speak.
What is that voice? I tried to give him like a raspy, like the way he sounds in the when he's
Yeah.
objecting, but like I can't really do that. Like,
The dead cannot
It's hard
speak.
to do.
Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend?
he kind of sounds like Von Karma if I do that.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, you'll see. They'll do that in like the first game of the series.
Yeah.
2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGondle's innocence? And
Well,
yet
we
now,
established we were wrong.
that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer.
We literally established this earlier. What do you
Your
mean?
conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country.
Ah, but that was.
I call it a bally disgrace! Treachery, that's what it is!
Oh god.
How to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a
Really, we had
stereoscope
that-
couldn't help the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done!
Fuck's sake.
Don't, wait, okay, we have a surgeon, or at least a doctor, in the jury. Can he determine
Yeah.
how old blood is?
Can we?
I'm not sure, but
Let's
But
find
surely,
out.
like, he could do something. but
Yippee.
we used Mr. Holmes' specially formulated chemicals.
Mr. Holmes is a detective, not a chemist!
Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer?
I held out piroshki to starving boy and he ran away crying.
Thank you for your.
Sherlock Holmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom, no weight at all.
How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed.
I'm gonna
This proves
fucking
that my
snap your
testimony
neck like
is
a
the
twig
whole
and throw
truth.
you off a bridge.
This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish.
Fucking mayonnaise ass bitch.
How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused's coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Crowley could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid and the conclusion is singular.
No,
It was
it's
the
not.
accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth.
Wouldn't there be blood on
Ah!
his back? Why do people in this fucking game just not use basic logic? Oh boy, here we go.
Oh.
Who's this?
My lord. Oh. Been a long battle that one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please.
Oh,
Mr.
shut
Foreman.
up.
As of this
Mr.
moment, sir,
Freeman.
the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready,
Yeah,
men?
let's go. Three
All for one now.
summation examinations in one case. I hate
Oh,
this
boy.
game.
Sir!
Guilty.
Oh,
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
They all have such good voices, I wish they said more.
Oh boy. Whoops. Well, it would appear that ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached an unanimous verdict. Coincidentally, you cannot do a third summation examination, it's the law. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the jurors' decisions being equally successful. Wah!
making good use of the animation.
I don't believe it, after I've come so far. How is it all unraveling on me so fast? How very distressing. To be held in such low self-esteem. Or such low esteem.
What?
Who is
Who's
this?
now?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Officer? You've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you.
It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind.
I know that voice.
Wait a minute, what?
Am I going mad?
Ah!
Oh, for fuck's sake. How did...
Mr. Holmes! Fucking hell.
Fucking... You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to come into the courtroom.
Aren't you, like, still in
God.
pain?
He doesn't care.
What? What is the meaning of this?
He's doing that fucking pose.
Order, order, order!
What business do you have here, detective? The last
He
I
heard
heard
you
you were
talking shit.
recuperating in the hospital.
He heard you talking shit.
As well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand.
What errand?
Holmesy, it's really you. You're awake at last.
Ah yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you would humour me.
In what manner, sir?
I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there.
He
I need
fucking,
no
like,
more
still
than
does the
5
hat
minutes.
tip, even wearing the, like, officer's hat.
Yeah.
Would you be so kind as to spare us the time?
What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks?
This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already.
Exactly, haven't spent so long already, we don't want to go spending any more precious time.
As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would have seemed churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes.
Wow, you're so nice.
Eh!
The chips.
Very well then, Council. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, he got dressed.
Oh, okay.
My dear
How did he
fellow,
do
I
that so
apologize for my
quickly?
tardy arrival.
Oh my god, Iris. Mr. Holmes, are you alright now?
Alright, I'm all wrong. I am in pain.
Okay.
Ow.
Thanks.
Sorry?
Thanks.
I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear I may even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive that I should pass out.
Why?
Let's make
Why
this
is he
discussion
doing
as
all
short
those
as
stupid
possible.
poses then? This guy.
Timesy, this place is full of idiots.
You're so right, Iris. You're so right.
Oh my god, this is a fucking train wreck.
I know.
None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of a sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community and oversight on my part.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Right, modesty? Surely not.
Uh,
But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What's
looks
that?
like Susato gave it to me.
A lavender furoshiki wrapping. A leaving present from Miss Susato. From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Your eyes for a second there. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
His eyes like glanced over for a split moment.
Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are want to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Susato, whatever could it be? Oh boy, it's Christmas.
Oh.
What is this?
Oh! It's the machine I made.
Ah!
Uh-huh.
Oh, the door gun.
Oh. Thank you, Wagahai.
Meow.
Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
What is that?
I call it the cat flapper mat.
Fuck, I forgot she called it that.
It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to?
Miss Susato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant.
What?
Damn, what?
Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Jeez.
Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Holmes?
That night, when you left Windibanks in pursuit of the thieves, Miss Susato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose.
Oh.
That is your answer, dear fellow.
Oh!
Not at all cryptic then. Susato used this cat flap mat that night, but why?
Okay.
Alright.
Hey, you don't have to do that.
Your 5 minutes is over. Oh, we're out of time already?
Figure it out, asshole.
Holmes just passes out in the background.
I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper.
I need no thanks, detective. After all, the die is cast.
Shut up.
Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan?
A miserable
is
little
down to
pile
me.
of secrets.
I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly.
Better save.
My lord, the defense requests... I don't think... Time to think, and probably not. Further cross-examination... I don't think we're
Should we
allowed to...
save?
I don't think we're allowed further cross-examination when they're all unanimously
We'll just save this
pleading
in case,
guilty.
but yeah. Skill issue or something.
I'll say further cross-examination, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be allowed.
We'll see.
Further cross-examination.
Objection!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection.
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue
They're
with the
demanding it.
one of an existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. To interrupt the cross-examination.
Oh!
Okay.
It wasn't. We didn't unpause it.
And there is one statement that we can object to right away with the cat flap.
Yeah.
So nobody can say anything then? If Ryu asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Crogvay,
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd! I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I
My
concur that the
courtroom,
defense
my
is
rules.
entirely within its right to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination.
Oh boy.
That's all we need, really. Counsel, you must choose about one statement from the witness's testimony, and about one piece of
Okay.
evidence to present in support of your argument against it.
Alright.
Single chance to present evidence? If, following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication. Adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further. My lord? Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous.
Yeah. Really is.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead faint.
Oh, he is gonna do it.
I leave this in your capable hands.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He had to do
Miss-
it like that.
Mr. Sholmes! Of course, and we get the...
Are we gonna get to see him like lying on the floor?
It's just
No,
the
the
entire
camera
time.
doesn't. The camera doesn't go that low. Or does it? It doesn't. That's sad.
So sad.
I would have liked to see it.
To stand so insouciantly before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little right now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man when he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel, are you fully
Okay.
prepared?
No. Oh, you can hear him breathing. I didn't notice that before.
Oh, that's me breathing.
Oh, it is. I was like,
Yes.
damn, this game is so realistic.
Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Holmes
One
down.
thing.
Or
I don't
Iris.
know why.
And I won't waste this final chance that Susato has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of this trial.
He's been posing like that for like the entire
Very well
like,
done.
10
Under the
minutes.
crimes I have outlined, you may resume your cross-examination.
Alright, we should save here too.
The moment of the... Oh, new music.
Yeah.
Damn, it's like Presto in the Edgeworth games. Like when there you have the very last testimony, you get special music for it. Or at least like the very last 3 or 4.
Also, I'm gonna guess here that Susato used the cat door thing to make the fucking door in the storeroom.
Yeah. Let's examine it because I want to listen to his music for a moment.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Ooh, those vicious teeth look like they could rip almost through anything.
They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I've developed just for this job.
You could kill someone with this.
Yeah, you really could.
A cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all.
And what are the 2 parts at the top there?
Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of door that gets cut out.
Right, of course.
Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors.
It sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for, but... Just like the reality of the cat Flappamat is that it's a grim weapon of door destruction.
Wagahai is so adorable. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him, even developing deadly weapons.
The power of cats.
That's good to know. Uh-huh. Alright. Anything else we can look at it?
It doesn't look like it. Alright, but it doesn't really matter.
Objection!
Up, music stop.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Council?
Oh, it's my cat Flappamat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it.
It's playing her theme now.
That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners have...
I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case.
Oh, really?
Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door.
Oh, really?
Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I failed to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Winterbank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Holmes.
Yes, the 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door, I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake?
Yes, how could you?
What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean.
Alright,
Refuses to elaborate. Leaves.
it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
What? No!
I love that you can like see him recover from it too.
This is a farce! Are you really suggesting that the people in the door was...
Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place, by my judicial assistant using this device. Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. This is a most serious act of vandalism. For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left after the scene in order to pursue the Templars and alerted the police. Nevertheless, in light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Crogray's testimony is riddled with holes. Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel. The majority of Mr. Crogray's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. Grr. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Ah! Order! 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 Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly! This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is! Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door?
I have an idea. Let's test it on the doors behind
Let's test it on you.
Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd! I don't believe it for a second.
Haha, I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Maggie, quick, time for dinner.
Oh, she did.
God,
She
look at how
did.
thick that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Waggy.
He's like the most voice
Well?
acted character in this game. Ah! Young lady, this
See,
is
this-
the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the old paneling at the Old Bailey.
I just did cry about it.
I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the peephole in the storeroom door at Windermanx was made by your machine.
Then how else do you make it?
And there's no way you can prove that it was. Let's just compare the
Oh
measurements.
yeah? Let's take a pic. Let's have a look at those pictures we took before Gina went in the storeroom, shall we? Let's have a look.
Oh wait, that's true. Hang on.
Let's have a look at that.
No door here.
Let's look at the second picture.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, there is one.
There it is. There it is.
Wow. Okay.
I thought I was like, there's
That's-
no
yeah.
fucking way it shows there's no fucking way it shows the door. And it does.
No, but it's easy.
What? This voice just
Cat
breaks more.
flaps my cat flapper mat creates all of a fixed size. And the dimensions of the peephole at Winderbanks are an exact match. Hee, old Silky's lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now it's my learned student's friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel.
Okay, let's get through like the next 5 minutes of pointless dialogue before we can present the fucking pictures of the storeroom door before and after.
Good. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes,
You call it-
that's true.
You fucking call it Eastern Island home as if England isn't also a fucking island.
Yeah. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts.
Oh really? Let's have a look at the
For
pictures
the
in
sake
the
of the
court
argument,
record, shall we?
let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption.
Let's say, hypothetically, the peephole has dimensions exactly fitting
In that
the
case-
contraption. Now,
in that
in,
case-
in this world that we've created,
When was the people cut? The prosecutor demands proof of your answer.
Jesus.
Ah! What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zeeks?
Not to delay this case by another 5 minutes, obviously.
It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now the perpetrator has returned to her native land, so she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof.
Can we just show the pictures already?
Ugh,
I'm
Yeah.
tearing my hair out.
And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the beeple was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more
Than a baseless accusation.
For God's
What?
sake, the music stopped. The music stopped, so now we have to do some more bullshit.
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, counsel?
I I don't know.
Gah.
Don't give up now, Ryu. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through.
I don't know if I can do this, but I know one thing. Susato is the
Start
greatest
Swift
judicial
one.
assistant in the world.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made.
Thank
Proof
God
that
we
the
can do
people in
this
the door
instead
of the
of.
Winterbank storeroom was created after the event and not before.
Thank God we can do this instead of having to fucking beat around the bush for 10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the picture
Alright.
before,
Alright.
and then we have to present and show that it does not have
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
They could just say window,
Alright.
it's such a strange word.
Take that!
Oh, music
There we
stopped, so... What are you? A print from the detective's infernal cameras again?
Now we're gonna say that the cameras are bullshit.
My judicial assistant, Mrs. Sarami Kotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel.
This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises.
Agreed.
And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker.
I mean, so did
but
the
more
other
to the point,
brothers.
it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see the print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description.
Mr. Crogray! You couldn't possibly have
stop.
witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies.
We got the 360 point.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's good. That's
My
a good
God.
one.
Order! I am satisfied the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony was
about it.
entirely fallacious.
That's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied, the woman tampered with the crime scene.
So?
Cry about it. But more importantly,
Good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zeeks?
the defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But there's no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. But that's all.
His, like,
Yes,
did
in
his
fact,
fucking, like,
if you looked at the
coat fall
circumstances,
down?
I am the victim here.
Uh,
Oh, please. No! I don't believe this. But they're right, as it stands now. I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit.
Still, he can't worm his way out of it now.
Iris?
You know what they say.
All toasters toast toast.
it's so true.
There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted.
My guy saw there was no dinner, so he left.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Ryu?
Wagahai has been lied to, that's the biggest crime.
So true.
As Hainsey always says, one lie begets another.
Does he say that?
No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Well,
This
no
isn't
matter who
helping.
said it first, you're right. Mr. Crogray, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? You said in your testimony, reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Would you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency.
Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Crogray had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about, namely bloodstains on the court, I'm pretty sure.
Do we save first?
Well, the peephole is like... I don't...
Yeah.
Like, the third gun... I don't even know if that exists. That could have just been made up completely.
That's
We
a
can
good point,
save.
actually, though, because you can see the bloodstains with the naked eye, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that.
Yeah. The peephole is like... He could have seen, like... Came in later, maybe, and seen it somehow.
Yeah, but the
Or
bloodstains...
just assumed it from, like, what we were talking about in court, like, from the pictures.
Yeah.
But the bloodstains, like, there's no way he could have known. The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right, the victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the peephole in the...
Uh-oh.
The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Crogray. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Crogray, that you're such a bitch? That you knew the existence of the peephole in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously I... Ah!
Mhm.
Has the cat got your tongue, witness? The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windibanks constantly, carrying out their investigation. Is it not right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have the officers walking around the clock and shift to get through it all.
And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Crogray, could have gained access to the shop.
Unless...
You should have known nothing about the peephole in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Crogray did maintain that he witnessed the crimes take place through the peephole in the door.
Except
How
he
on earth is
couldn't
that
have.
possible? Oh, that's him.
Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you...
Permission denied.
Damn!
Oh,
It's not at all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
of course, sir.
Mr. Crogray. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole,
So how does he know?
which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
What now? Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes? But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Crockery claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be. Wait. Wouldn't that be Gregson, then?
I'm pretty sure it is. You've seen how shifty he's been?
Especially like
How
they were
weird he's
talking
been.
to each other, and he's trying to get away now.
Yeah, he keeps trying to get away. He keeps being like really shifty about wanting to like show something or like reveal something.
I don't actually remember this part, so I'm not sure, but it's the only explanation that makes sense at this point in time. Because the Tin Pillars didn't
I mean, who
know
else would
about the
be?
door
The
at all.
Tin Pillar brothers were there.
Yeah, but they didn't know about the door. They said so.
Yeah. They didn't know about the door. They couldn't have gone into the shop. The only people who would have been authorized to
Doesn't make sense for
inspect
it
the
to
crime
be
scene
Gina
would have been
to have told
been
him.
ourselves and the police.
Yeah.
So
Who is the person in
that
question,
hev-
counsel?
it heavily implicates.
Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
Well, there was the judge, obviously.
It was you, Your Honor.
Take that!
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Hey, me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend.
Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Rupert Crogre's identity for the last few hours. Sorry. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during the hour-long recess. All the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here with the from the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Crogre would have had no idea, no inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Nice tune reference.
God.
Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the peephole. It was only once Mr. Crogre was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder.
You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information? So that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin?
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a bloomin' outrage! Why would I be giving away details of our investigation to this fella, eh?
Careful with that fish and chips.
I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that?
Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery.
Which means... the first time these two laid eyes on one another was
After proceedings resumed following the recess.
Weren't they whispering to each other? Didn't we call them out on that?
Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
But didn't it though? Weren't they whispering
They
to
literally
each other?
did occur. We even
We
like
called them
pressed
out on
them.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I've just remembered something, Ryu.
Yeah, so have I.
What is it, Iris?
There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Gina Bain was testifying.
Oh yeah, it was when Gina was testifying.
Oh yes, now that you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve Magando's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony! Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Crogre and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion.
I forgot about that, but yeah, that would do it.
It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Crogre that information he needed then.
You little tarag, you're making all this up! I'm a respectable
gaslighting
Scotland Yard
someone.
inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I have to do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
His fucking jaw unhinging.
Yeah, admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
What deal, counsel?
I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the peephole at the crime scene, Mr. Kroger agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that, if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross scare of malfeasance. A gross scare of malfeasance.
Well, I...
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with the accusations is the Snippety student's specialty. I don't do that.
No, I didn't do it.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges.
Oh, I assure you, it's quite based.
It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return?
I'm gonna guess it's to get a music box disc.
The court must see proof of this alleged deal. Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Kroger. Then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it.
Ryu, do you think it could be?
Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
Well, I'd save just in case, but I'm betting it's either the music box disc or the music box itself.
Yeah, I feel like either one would work, but I think the music box disc would be more decisive. Okay, music
Stop.
Yeah.
There we go.
Inspector Gregson. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've also been working on another very important case?
What? What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
It's possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded you to in this newspaper article here. The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Nora could you...
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windibanks by Cosney McGondel. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that it encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGondel's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Kroger in which you exchanged that disc for details of the case.
This music.
Yeah.
You little... Ah!
God. Order! It's a good thing I took some cough syrup before this. On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windibanks, you said this.
I'll be taking that whatever it is of McDonald's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine.
I'm sorry, miss, but anything belonging to McGonagall has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard has already knew at the time, is it not right? That Cosney McGondel was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were, recover the medium that used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it in the QT, and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush.
And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume? Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information.
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't so sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all.
Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness? To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony? There's no other way that Mr. Kroger could have known of the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these 2 men. No!
Objection!
If
And I stress if, that this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth. It would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? He is?
What's that supposed to mean, eh?
As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand.
Good gracious, then you mean to say...
Inspector Gregson already
chips.
has the item in question in his possession?
It's in the fish and chips. He's been trying to eat it the whole time to disguise it.
He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
Yes,
Yes.
It's been a while. The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Gina Bain was testifying before. And Toby hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector,
He's got to finish his endless fish and chips first.
this young man wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough. However, if it will put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
What? He's going to agree to it? I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You've made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, if no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service, this trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded.
Jesus.
My fucking god, that sounds serious.
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
me right now.
Indeed, to have a visiting student make such defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force
Wow, a policeman doing something corrupt?
is not something
Say
Her
it ain't
Majesty's
so.
government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Ryu because you're scared.
The accused is beyond.
Afraid of a
The
little
accusation is
Japanese
beyond
boy? Grow
serious.
up.
You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Search someone else?
I'm gonna bet that fucking Egg Benedict.
Wait. I just had an idea.
Uh huh.
You know that how one time he started shaking the other guy, Nebby, whatever his name
Yeah.
was. What if he planted the disc on him then?
Oh.
Because if he's so confident,
Maybe?
I don't think it's on him. But that's the
Yeah.
only time he touched someone else entirely. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted.
Well,
Don't say you weren't warned. But your typical nippity stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson you will do you some good.
fair enough. I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector's personal effects, please.
We haven't seen that one in a while.
demands a search, but not of the Inspector Gregson. What? It's like eyebrow raising.
Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
I was just doing a little trolling.
No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of all this, eh? I lost it at last, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Quiet, all of you.
I heard a female voice, but I don't know who it was. Oh, it's
Oh,
Iris.
yeah, okay.
Ryan's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because I'm gonna shoot you otherwise. It's the British way.
British way is shanking someone.
Well said, young lady.
Scurvy Dog's face swing, they were not but a fine mist.
Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words.
You what? Now don't be hasty, my lord.
And now he's a little...
Now he's
On
flustered.
edge.
If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
I'd save just in case, but I think you're right. It's probably,
Yeah. I
okay,
have it,
keep
Your
shaking.
Honor.
I stole it, like fucking Sherlock putting the cups on us in the ship
Yes, yeah.
and taking them off when we weren't looking.
Take that!
Music stopped.
Of my lord? Mr. Nemi Tinpillar. Well, I never... Hey, me? Him? Very well done, bailiff.
Whack his
Restrain the
pee-pee.
witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects.
Hold it!
Ah,
But
that's
please, my
Gregson.
lord. Inspector? Scotland
No,
Yard
don't do it.
has to object to this search.
Objection!
Why is that?
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here.
You're not a lawyer,
Hey.
so you can't do it.
In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
I was joking, but he's
But Lord
he's
Van
right.
Zieks,
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial.
Really? You've been fucking with us like the whole time.
Bailiff, carry out the search! Bailiff, whack his
They're just
pee-pee!
sweating. They're just sweating.
No, hold on a moment. That's my pee-pee, I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc.
That's my purse. I don't know
Cut
you.
it out! Cut it out! Ah. Hey, my lord, in the witness's pocket. I found this.
Yippee!
Good lord, that's another music box disc. I don't know nothing about it, nothing. His voice was higher, but what? I'm losing my mind with all these voices. Hang on. I
Yeah.
need to pour more water. That is the second music box disc left behind by Cosney McGondle. Is it not,
360
Inspector
points
Gregson?
ah!
Fuck. Order! Mr. Tinpiller, what have you to say for yourself? Yeah. Gordon Bennett, I mean just Gordon Flamin Bennett! I swear I didn't know nothing about that disc! Honest to God! Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here?
Why do I have to explain it?
The alleged deal was struck between this witness and this detective, no? Without question, my lord. Then for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information? Inspector Gregson's a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall what unusual behavior. We shake people all the time.
Ah!
It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Crogray.
Oh, yeah, what was
Mr. Crogray, when you left the pawnbrokery
what's
that night?
Progress saying when he started shaking him?
Was it by any chance the second disc in your jacket pocket?
Okay.
I admit nothing of the sort.
Okay, we were talking about the disc when he started shaking him.
While Mr. Crogray answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Mr. Nemi Tinpiller by his coat and started shaking him violently.
Yeah, he did it at all. Thought me doggy was gonna fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was.
And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me by the whistle and started shaking me. What a blaze didn't you mention the first gun when we got you down to the station? That's what he said. I yelled it right down my ear hole, he did. But my head's still throbbing now.
The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now,
This is fail RP.
it must have been that he did it. It must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc. Well, bless my wig, he did it!
Hey, you.
But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law, he could have submitted the item as evidence.
If he did that, it wouldn't be in his like
It would
control.
appear, my
anymore.
lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. Why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. My god.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT, strictly hush hush.
What does QT stand for in this case?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's Latin.
I'm
not-
assuming it's similar to on the down low, but I don't know what QT would stand for in this case.
I
But I
think
get what
it's
the
probably a
general gist of
Latin
what he's saying.
acronym, but I'm not sure.
Probably, yeah.
Hush,
I'll look it
top
up
secret
first.
assignment, is it? As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed in court
It's
as
just
evidence...
an abbreviation of the word quiet.
Okay. I thought it would be like quiet and then something. I didn't think it would be one word.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too. I was like, I feel like it's quiet and then something, but no,
Yeah.
we're quiet.
Were to reveal it in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up
We'll
the
get you cancelled
situation,
on Twitter.
Inspector?
I'm operating on direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question.
So, realizing there was a chance you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness.
Ah, does this mean?
You only pretended to attack Mr. Templar in order to get close enough to him to slip the second disc into his pocket.
So it was all a pretense. Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Crogray, are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you about this alleged deal?
You think these two are going to admit to anything? Fuck no.
Admit to it. Yours truly, please.
Mr. Crogray,
Clearly, our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination.
Told you we wouldn't
However,
admit to
there's
it.
no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the peephole? I'm under no obligation to explain.
you're under oath in
course.
court.
You
What?
literally are under oath in court.
Yes, I lied in my testimony, that I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secret, striking a deal with the detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of it is about.
He really is like a Twitter person when
You-
they get called out.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like we should
God.
play the music disc together
Yeah.
with the other one.
Yeah. Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Crogray in order to acquire the disc?
Ladies and gents of the jury, as Scotland Yard Inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I have done has been in the name of justice.
I seem
So?
not very convinced.
So, as members of this fine country, the publics of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions.
You're not British.
This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary
Fuck you, the game. Tumultuousness in the
Tumultuousness.
concluding of a trial. Tumultuousness.
Tumultuousness,
Tumultuousness.
yeah. Yeah.
Nevertheless.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leadings.
Well, now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and the country, I must say I sympathize with you all, Inspector.
That's bias.
Yes, he's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character.
Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all a blur to me.
Probably your eyes like dying.
Well, as a fellow professional, I like to put my faith in the detective, really.
We're so biased.
Crogray is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
Oh my god.
Get better idols.
Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say.
I don't believe it. These 6 jurors are... They're going to believe Gregson. If they declare their decision now...
Is Jeannie Bean going to be found guilty?
If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then... We're going to lose. Either some proof that Crogray killed Mr. Windenbank or stole those government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson to admit that he struck a deal with the witness. I need him to play the video, or the fucking disc in court.
The music box
Yeah.
disc, yeah.
Well then,
Can
counsel,
you at least, like, play them?
I think it's time I imposed on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is,
No.
unless you have some
Well.
compelling evidence that you have thus far not presented to the court.
And we didn't get to look at
call-
the music box disc.
Could the judge called on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty.
So there's no choice then, Ryu. You have to throw some more evidence at them.
Just physically throw it at them.
This is it now. All comes down to this. Who do I present evidence against, Gregson or Crogray? Alright, let's save. Definitely not leave it to the jury.
No, that's like the bad ending.
Yeah. Fuck,
Eh.
wrong button.
Oh, do we? It's not in the court record. We don't get to look at it. We just have the first one. It's a bit stupid, innit?
We could present the music box to Gregson.
I feel like that's the thing we have to do, yeah.
I'll try that. Inspector Gregson, there is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see.
Hey, what's that then?
If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly.
Well, go on.
This is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he clearly struck with Crogray.
Take that!
Okay, that seems right.
Is that Mr. Magundo's peculiar music box, counsel?
Yes, with a disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time,
Yeah, we are on the right track.
with the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well.
Goodness, this disc, counsel?
Hold it!
No, wait, I can't let you do that.
Why not?
Can't let you do that, Dave.
Because, well... Because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Objection!
Nuh-uh, Inspector.
Hey,
The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory.
for crying out loud,
theory.
for crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the
We
whole
have a
courtroom
Morse
hear the
code
confidential
decoder?
information like that, it's treason.
Then you do admit to the charge. That in order to protect those state secrets, you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness.
You're mad. If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot!
Objection!
Haven't you done that?
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. I'm blackmailing you right now.
Don't you dare!
I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of.
You're gonna die if you do that.
My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box.
Come on, Van Zieks, for peace sake, stop him!
Objection!
You physically can't. Oh, here we go.
Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet.
And
In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth by fair means or foul.
and
No!
Very well, the defense's stance here and that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen to this music box as this music box is set in operation once more.
kind of funny sitting like that. But yeah, let's go. Let's
This
hear
time
it.
with the second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously. What an angle.
That's absolutely Morse code.
Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code.
Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that bloomin' box up!
I don't think you can really stop a music box that's been set in motion. You have to
Yeah.
wait for it to finish after
Yeah.
winding it up.
Yeah. Let me ask you again then, Inspector. Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not, strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Rupert Crogray?
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for his music box disc?
Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom, Inspector?
I did.
Stop! What are you doing, man?
Love how they all say man.
Yeah.
All exactly as the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with the deal.
Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! Shut up! I found the same. Psst. You there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbrokery the other day, aren't you? You have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed.
Oh, I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him the details about the case that should have put him in the clear.
Should've.
The people in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat.
By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury.
I did. But then it turned out the people had only been made that night, after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest.
Well, Mr. Crogray, what do you have to say for yourself? There's
Oh,
nothing
so
and
when
no
we're
one
not
left
aware
for
of
you to hide
details, it
behind.
makes us the bad guy, but when Scotland's Yard not aware of details, it's perfectly fine. Okay.
Yeah. He struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Hatch Windebank.
His first name is Hatch, I forgot.
You. Oh god.
Oh,
Traitor!
oh
my God.
my god! What the fuck?
My fucking god.
He just spit out a chip.
Yeah. Bailiff! Bailiff! Restrain that man! At once!
Whack his pee-pee. What the fuck?
Fuck, like, yeah. What a...
Awful.
That's it then. It's all over. An hour and 40 minutes and 37 seconds.
Oh, there's gotta be more than this, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't end here.
It's still, like, a lot left. I despised my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me.
Sorry, I might have made a noise.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, cool.
So I set about studying, to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole. And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination. But then you decided to try to sell government secrets?
Oopsie teehee.
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money.
At least he's honest.
Even now,
He looks
years
so
later,
sad.
the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could have ever imagined. Then one day, I met him. Mr. Cosney Magondo.
Oh. Oh, right. How do you fucking sound?
Yeah, you're a teen with a queer talent, so
No.
you are.
I'll do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're a fiend with a queer talent, so you are. I've money to throw your way if you're interested.
Yeah, good enough.
All you need do is go along with me little plan now.
This man really fucked over everybody.
Yeah, what a dick.
It was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGonagall would buy them for a handsome sum.
And he
As I
saw
was
the money
responsible for the inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was simple enough task. Lord of the Devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb. But you must surely realize the seriousness of the crime you were committing.
I don't care. I like money.
And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother would have divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mortimer Milverton. That's right. He was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier.
Ominous.
Look at you, Lurpers. What a fine gent you've become, eh?
He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason, so I made up a story. I've got some work for you, Fava. I need some music box discs made.
Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of
mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I've brought the score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. Oh.
I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft.
It's fucked up.
That's how I had him make the two discs. Thereby splitting the information in two, you were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGonagall in two separate transactions. The first involved the first of the two discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGonagall for 10 guineas.
Then, on the
Jesus,
receipt
that's
of
a
the
lot.
second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas.
What the fuck?
So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of the deal? Exchange of the second disc? Yes. I'd sold them information that was a number of times already. A number of times already, sorry. But it seems he became reluctant to part with his money. But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Crogray. For why was that on the omnibus that 2 months ago? Well, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGondle and not yourself. When I received the 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGondle, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And then when he did, he said to me,
Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore.
that was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGondle. That's it. He had no idea what is actually on the disc I asked of him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home.
Jesus. Even Van Zeeks is speechless.
Yeah. It was only then that I found out what sort of a monster McGondle really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name.
He's still doing those animations.
To exact revenge.
So did he set
Revenge?
the omnibus on fire?
I don't know, actually, I don't remember. As anyone with even the remotest of knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, McGondle brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish.
It's all your fault, Ryan. Ryan is kidding our dog.
My feet had barely touched the British soil by then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGondle by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGondle himself had shown me that. Are you saying that... I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything in his favor in this courtroom to ensure he walked free. I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved.
So he did set the
Yeah,
omnibus on fire.
damn. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGondle's death that day was caused by this man?
Fucked up.
Everything is ready, sir. If you'd follow me into the courtroom.
What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe.
So that was him. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There are some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
Jeez.
Is there a policeman who came to tell McGondle he could examine the omnibus again? That's right, an imposter hired by me.
Us!
McGondle used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered McGonagall inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell.
No. Wait,
It's
how
nice
did you
that
get the
your
cane?
cane
It
is
was broken.
repaired. Yeah.
An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death.
Jesus.
A spine-chilling account indeed. But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see.
A loose end?
Skill issue.
The second disc, yeah.
Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGonagall.
Ah, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
When I realized that it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGonagall.
Oh, that's him then.
Yep.
This is the first of the 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them.
Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man.
What's this? Windenbank's pawnbrokery?
Aye, just a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for you. There's no need to give a name, just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I'll put a jewel in pawn for you. Oh, it'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will.
I've never heard of a pawnbroker being used in quite that way before.
Have you not, Mr. Crowgrave? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault.
That's what Sherlock said.
Mm-hmm. Extremely secure until you shoot the guy and kill him.
Yeah.
So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone.
Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at the Windenbanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for?
From the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another one of McGonagall's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced that it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion that the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline.
And he was absolutely right.
And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was wait until the girl went to Windenbanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGonagall's overcoat and the 1 disc that was in its pocket. All-important music box with the second disc inside was missing.
Because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier.
But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion.
Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we'd picked up on the fact that McGonagall was involved.
Inspector, you've recovered fast?
My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the fellow's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going at the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could.
Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous.
It should be became, I don't know why it says become.
I was sure the music box and the second disc were still in there in the shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did.
So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night.
With the help of your old friends, the Timpler brothers.
just hearing their names just brings him to this state.
What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nemi and Tali were searching the counter, I'd located the music box I'd sold to McGonagall on the shelves I'd forfeited articles.
And the second disc, what's inside?
Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my
What?
shop?
I imagine it in like the Shrek voice.
What are you doing in my shop?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not even what he sounds like.
A gunshot rang out in the shop and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm.
The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb.
Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case.
Oh, you know. Standard fare.
Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the
You
middle
should
of
be
his back
prepared
as he
for that
fled.
if you bring a gun with you.
Yeah.
Pointed at somebody.
As he fled for the storeroom door for refuge. A sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nemi and Tully even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windibanks on that wretched night.
Looks like a little drowned rat.
Yeah.
Bro is flabbergasted.
Earlier, you called McGondle a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. For what you have done is exactly the same.
He's entirely correct.
Yeah. You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGondle.
Yes, I think I have.
Oh, this music.
This is new.
Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial.
You don't say.
Yeah.
However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Rupert Crogray?
He has been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. Will be charged with the murder of Mr. Winterbank and the stealing of government secrets.
None of the murder of, fucking... What's his name?
McGonagall.
Yeah, McGondle.
Very
Well,
good.
it cancels it out, right? Because McGonagall was also a murderer.
Yeah.
Cancels it out. It's fine.
And you, Inspector? Regrettably, you will have to face charges for yourself.
Oh no, not consequences.
Yes, my
I'm
lord.
very sorry,
of
Owo.
course.
It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains, whether or not you were doing so in line of duty.
Sorry.
The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable.
Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Yeah.
It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Yes, sir. Gary Up Squadron standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the
This
final
is it.
call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts.
This is it, Luigi.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
There it is. Finally did it.
I wouldn't like to be in those, like, royalty
Yeah.
seats in the back there.
Yeah.
That's the stuff. I'm off the hook.
She's so based.
Finally, my dear, you finally managed to do it.
Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if it'd
No
come out on
kidding.
top for a while there.
No shit.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Miss Lestrade, I am not finished with you yet.
Oh god. What are you looking at me like that for?
Before
mean,
you
you did
start
still
enjoying
commit
your
perjury.
freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider,
Eh?
2 months ago
She
in my
did
court
kind of
trial,
still
Les,
commit
you gave
perjury.
false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Winterbank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with McGondal's property, it seems.
Never done nothing of this sort.
Yeah, of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing Mr. McGonagall's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Gina Bean this evening.
Whoopsie, criminal record after all.
And turning our attention to the defense,
Oh my
determining
God,
that when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was... well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel.
Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. To demanding
Rare to
that
see
government
him-
secrets be disseminated
Oh,
before the entire
was-
courtroom.
I was gonna say I'm surprised to see him not taking the piss, but then he did.
Yeah. Ah! I'm very sorry about that. It was the only way I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what he'd done, so...
If I may say something on that point.
I'm pretty sure it's the Morse code lady, actually.
Yeah, isn't that...
It's, about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all.
Oh fuck, really?
What? What are you saying, ma'am?
Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession, one feels.
This is like the predecessor to Tetris syndrome or whatever it's called.
The Tetris effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I must say that in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless serious? Why is it serious? Whatever. A meaningless series of two different tones.
Yeah, it should be series, but I don't know.
I don't know why it says serious.
What? What? Can that really be?
I was
It
expecting
wasn't
to
Morse
bounce
code
off the
after
bed.
all? My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again.
Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain ministerial secrets, sunshine.
This
Yeah, he
courtroom
kinda
is
has a
not an
point.
appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications.
What's happening for him?
We know McGonagall conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Crogray. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. Ugh, but it's really going to bother me.
Yeah, same. What you thinking about? It's cut to her doing the ... thinking animation
Miss
twice now.
Lestrade,
Yeah, me lord.
that which you have seen today here in this courtroom here has been extremely disturbing.
Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity.
An appalling experience to befall any child.
And now they admit she's a kid.
Come on, it ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums.
I beg your pardon.
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes.
Gina,
But look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change,
You've got to start at home. You've got to change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again.
Sheesh.
Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Hatchwin, the bank proprietor of pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, not guilty.
Yippee!
Yay. Oh, the
Oh, I
fireworks,
don't
I
think we should
forgot.
be setting those off in the courtroom.
Oh, that's her doing it.
Oh, wait.
She looks so
Gina,
happy.
stop doing that. Gina, please. We've already got like 2 fire hazards in this courtroom already.
That is all. Court is adjourned.
Thank God.
Oh, okay.
Why are we here?
Just to suffer.
Where'd Iris go? Oh, he put his cape back on. He got cold or something, I don't know.
On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend.
Okay, we've graduated from Nipponese to Far Eastern.
Yeah. Ah, oh. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense
Oh no, we're back
the
to
malice
Nipponese,
that
never mind.
festered to within that Englishman. And at the same time, you saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures.
Thanks? Alright.
I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether you're from the Empire of the Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again in this courtroom.
Kind of gay.
You
When you
did
phrase it like that, it's kind of gay.
lock cocks with you in this courtroom.
Shut up!
You did?
Fuck off.
When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of the toasting friendship and trust with one another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed.
Wait,
Through
what?
you, I hoped to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand.
Who is he talking about?
I'm not sure,
The
actually.
fuck?
You mentioned something similar earlier today, about total betrayal at the hands of a Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, we'll learn the answer, whether you like it or not.
Okay, thanks for the really cryptic answer.
Alright, I'll wait for that day, if I must.
He just accepts it, like, okay.
He-
I'll do that.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, sunshine. Coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey, and my retirement from service 5 years ago, it gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose.
You don't have to do that.
So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again.
Okay.
I guess that's respect.
It's as close as you're gonna get.
Can we pause here for a moment?
Right. Yeah.
I gotta go for a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, same.
Alright. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Damn, 5 p.m. We've been at this case for so long.
it's done. It's over at last. Oh, really? It really is. 10 p.m. for you.
Yeah, on the dot.
But it's noon for me. Where's
Yeah.
Iris disappeared to? Ah! Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent,
Relatively.
technically speaking.
Yeah.
Well, you did what you said, Mr. Night Odo. You believed in me right up to the end. You're as old as your name.
What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I?
No one ever has. apologized before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly.
That's awful.
I'd figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I've never trusted no one. But that's just 'cause I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down.
Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and paid for it. That betrayal left a big scar. You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. When your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, but when your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson.
Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me though.
Oh, I'm trying to say that putting my faith in Eugenia has been a real pleasure.
Oh, crying out loud, pack it in! But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, alright.
Thanks.
Smells alright.
This is
Oh,
the
hi,
way I see it,
Kazuma.
Rinosuke. It's like deeper. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. I give him like an Edgeworth voice, I think.
Yeah. He's
And
like
that comes-
Edgeworth if he was on your side the whole
And
time.
that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel that I was understand what you mean. Kazuma, am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Pardon the interruption.
I bet that's Sherlock.
Probably. Oh yeah. Well, what the deuce does the man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow?
Yep.
Ah, that voice. It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity.
You didn't have to do that.
Ah ha ha, yes, it was me all along, I would have said when finally you noticed me. But you people with your incessant babbling!
Ah, Mr. Holmes!
Ah ha ha, yes, it was me all along. You see?
Well, no, I can't because the visor's annoying. He changed back. Okay, can he stop doing that?
I'd assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh.
Just stop doing that.
I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. I merely made my
Yeah,
knowledge
one
of
or
them known
two.
to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. How very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless effort justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat to you.
Are we close friends?
Thank you. I've decided that we are.
Yeah.
Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe.
Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade?
Oh, I wonder.
While you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed, some of us have been fighting for our lives.
Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold, not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, have a feel.
No, I don't want.
Could you take your pants off my neck, please, Mr. Holmes?
Jesus.
And in some way, I suppose, congratulations are ordered for you too, Miss Lestrade.
What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted?
Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but...
Art, I don't want to alarm you, but
An acquittal when a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious.
Oh right, we've
Well
heard the
done,
Bailey
Mr.
and all
Holmes.
that.
Not alarming in the slightest.
Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Well, as anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he was working on winds up dead anyway. Is that it?
The very point I was trying to make. And exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGundle, in fact.
But he was fucking like burnt to death by the guy who wanted him dead. I think that's a little bit different.
Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself, then why did you bring it up?
Why did you bring it up? Yeah, well, it don't bother me.
Oh, really?
Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs.
Him upstairs? You mean, like, God?
Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. There are some coves like that bog trotter what are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve.
I
about
suppose
that.
that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another.
Well, I ain't like the McGundles of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see?
A trait in you which is to be admired, Miss Lestrade.
Oi, just give a rest, alright?
As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina.
Do you have to do that pose every time? Well, oh jeez. Oh, okay.
There you are, Holmesy. How long have you been here? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there.
Ah, Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves.
Oh my god.
What happened?
As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolls didn't notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you
Didn't know,
imagine,
chat.
Iris? Would you credit it?
I'm not sure, really.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, Holmesy, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have.
Oh, wow.
Harsh.
In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day.
Oh,
His
be
neck
careful.
just broke.
Ouch.
Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Gina Bean tonight. But you won't be able to come, will you?
Don't look like I'm gonna be going nowhere for a while. You heard the judge, Patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them fences. What was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog trotter stuff what was in lug, blah blah blah.
Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense.
What? Diving ain't an offence. It's a job, innit?
I don't think so.
Still, it has got me thinking, all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Otto?
Otto. Well, no,
Evil
but I
Otto.
was never a pickpocket.
Well, there's always time to start. Well, anyway, I reckon I could make a change. I'm gonna do something for all them lot like me from the slums. Then that makes a difference for them.
That's a wonderful idea, Gina Bean. I'm sure you can do it.
What is it? Oh, nothing.
Miss Gina Lestrade! The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once.
Okay. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then.
Yes, goodbye, Gina, and good luck.
Otto.
Yes?
Oh, what?
What?
Hold on a sec, we gotta go through the 3-second loading animation.
Ah! What was that for?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm a Gemini.
I don't know what to say, so... Shooting us was a
Ah,
logical
indeed.
option.
Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade.
Eh?
On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you.
Oh,
Oh, yes! It's good advice, Genevieve.
right, I see. Well... Oh,
Thanks.
Otto. Oh,
Thank you for everything what you've done, for believing in me.
Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina.
it better not be a fucked up cutscene after this, I swear to God.
Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, well, quite the indomitable pick purse. Wow.
Oh, I nearly forgot. I bought a paper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpockets, innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful?
You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled.
Oh no, how silly of me. Oh, anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news?
Oh my God, really?
Not again.
Well, what do you say, Ryu? Holmesy?
As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news.
Okay.
And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it?
Let's not go there.
Alright then. Maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. There was a record level of rainfall apparently.
Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort.
Can we now?
Alright then, what's the bad news?
A huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more.
Wait, Dover?
That's right, if we head to the station immediately,
How is that bad news?
we may still make it in time to wave Susie off.
Well, it's bad news because her trip is delayed, but
Mm-hmm.
we get to see her.
But... There won't be a train, surely. We couldn't do that. We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Narhodo? Mr. Holmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made an arrangement for a special express.
Oh,
If we
cool,
hurry
okay.
now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. I don't... The Great Detective does it again. Indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles. What?
Okay.
I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive. Elementary to you friend someone.
Say that.
Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way.
for then? To London, Victoria.
Oh boy.
Okay, cutscene time. Oh wait, no, not cutscene yet. 5 in the morning?
That looks somewhat longer than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
Susie's boat must be about to leave now.
Mr. Sato, where are you?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's right there, okay.
Over there,
How
look! Looks like
convenient.
she's reading something.
Hold it!
What? What? Don't throw it? What are you
Mr. Sato,
doing?
wait, what are you doing? What is that on your, like, on your leg?
Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing here?
We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to bad weather, you see.
Oh, I see.
Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go?
It went well. She was acquitted.
That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. Something seems weird.
The book you were about to throw into the sea was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it?
Oh dear. I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So, I was saying my final farewell.
You were saying goodbye to law? You, Susato?
Would I be correct in assuming that it's because of the peephole, Miss Susato?
I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable.
That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie?
Everyone steals shit from you. It's like the third time now.
On the evening of the incident, Mr. Holmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember.
Oh yes, we had a wonderful time.
Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean.
Wow.
Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Ryu's armband.
Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me.
Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages.
Okay, it's still there.
I'd hope so. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapper, so I put it up my sleeve.
This giant thing.
She's got giant sleeves, it's fine.
Yeah, but not that giant.
Really?
And then I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Windibank's shop with it later that night.
I
She didn't
see.
notice for that long. And then Mr. Holmes! Mr. Shaw!
Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo!
Right.
After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind.
Storeroom door, you mean?
Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, a little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know.
So you used the cat flapper mat to make the peephole in the door. What a sentence.
As captured in a photographic print of the shop.
I
by one of Holmes's red-handed recorders.
Indeed, it was of first importance at that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing.
I looked through the hole in the door. The sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered the trial 2 months earlier.
The trial of Cosney McGondle.
I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then, a terrible thought occurred to me. What if I wanted to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own? What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now?
What if I were to purchase evidence and use this for my own acquittal? Delightfully devilish, McGondle.
Yeah. Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windibank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing.
You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime?
That's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case.
What do you mean?
Well, the crime appears to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have had to be a way to see beyond the door.
Ah! For which, a peephole would be the very thing.
Only the people I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference.
But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not?
A trap? Is that why she did it?
So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone. Not even to the police.
I know. And I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong. A criminal offense, even. So I decided to confide in Mr. Holmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the peephole could save him! That was my plan.
She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began?
My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade.
Escapade. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
something like that.
you could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene. So Mrs.
Damn,
Sutter
just
decided
like
to
my
shoulder the
descendant
burden
200 years later.
of responsibility alone, yeah. For your sake and Miss Lestrade's.
Miss Susato.
Truth is, when it happened, I did it because I lost a little of my faith in the law.
Oh.
I was worried the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant.
What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Progray is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that people as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mr. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life.
Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you saved me too from my regrets.
Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrande's freedom has been assured.
Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure.
But the revelation of the music book contains secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo. What a triumph to work that out. I'm full of admiration.
Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was.
Oh, it wasn't?
There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator, and she said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones.
As one would suspect, after all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood, as they have been intercepted.
In cipher? I see. So then we could have never have hoped to understand the message anyway.
Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you.
What does that mean?
I have a tape recorder with me. A.
It was high pitched, I think it was
Oh.
one of them. Asugi? Asugi.
What?
Kazuma Asugi.
Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny.
Oh my god, no. Wait! Iris, what did you just say?
Oh, I just said Asugi? Does that word mean something to you?
Means
Means
something?
everything.
Asugi was the name of my best friend.
What?
But how? How do you know that name, Iris?
I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box.
What the fuck?
She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius.
I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least.
What the fuck?
So it's in Japanese?
Oh! It suddenly occurred to me, you see. There's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own language.
I don't believe it. Are you saying...
That's right, I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. I think it's based on the Aroha pangram, isn't it?
And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code the message says Asugi?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code.
Iris, would you let me see that?
Miss Susato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code?
Yes, I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications. Okay.
Then might I recommend, my dear ma'am, that you focus your efforts on the English version?
Shut up.
Be that as it may, Iris, show me the message, please.
Of course.
But what can this possibly mean?
Whatever's in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes, it's made the color drain from Susato's face.
There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code.
So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications?
I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names.
4 names?
What? The first is Kei Asugi.
Kazuma Asugi. Why? Where is his name on that disc?
The second is A Shin.
Shin? I don't recognize that name.
The third is T Gurugregson.
Gureksun, okay.
I Tobias Gregson.
Gregson?
That's how you would write it out in Japanese.
Yeah. Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. And what's his name doing in the secret government communications as well?
Hmm.
And the last name?
What's the matter, Mr. Sato? It's ours, isn't it?
It's just so strange. So unexpected.
Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense.
Last name is J. Watson.
What?
Watson?
John H. Watson? I mean, Daddy?
It says only J. Watson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. What the fuck?
I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contained Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So, Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susie and Ryu come from.
Oh,
He's there
God.
alright.
Oh, well... He's downstairs.
No, it's not really likely, really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Watson, and there must be lots of J's among them.
Yeah. Professor John H. Watson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't.
Ugh. Jesus.
This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windibank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave.
I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Oh, but we will. We will.
Yeah, eventually we will.
Oh god.
Me, 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 me.
Oh dear. Ship is going to set sail soon.
Yes, it seems so.
I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan.
You're really going then, Susie?
We wish you a safe passage, Mr. Sato.
Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best.
Mr. Sato, I had hoped to have you always at my side, to guide me and support me.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world.
Aww.
I'm not quite sure. I'll be back before you know it. Really, Susie?
Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill.
Promise?
About your manuscript.
Oh,
Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise.
Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
do you remember the first time we met?
Yes, of course. On the SS Eau Claire, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember
meet
rightly,
before that?
you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Susato takedown.
We met in the courtroom before, you idiot. You know very well that I'm talking about after that. What do you mean after? It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma's great legacy.
Miss Susato.
And my instincts were right. I really want to believe, no, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Oh, now we get the cutscene, okay.
Yeah.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
Aw, Waggy is there and everything.
Oh.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective.
Can't
I'm
hear
sure
you,
there'll be
Soto.
trials and tribulations ahead. Of
Whoa!
course there will.
Trials and tribulations. Whoa. Name drop. Wrong game.
whatever-
Spoilers!
I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
He should not sound British. Why are you
Fucking
playing the
Holmes.
violin?
After all,
She can't hear you, the violin.
He's
I have
making the
greatest
soundtrack.
friends in the world on my side.
There's no violins in the background, it's like trumpets and shit. Wow, the sun rose quickly too.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
what now?
Ah,
Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Holmes? I have some rather awkward news.
I dropped my violin in the ocean.
The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently.
Oh, the fuck?
Huh?
It caused such a commotion on the line. All the other trains had to wait at stations.
But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything and how it was all your fault.
No!
Huh?
Gah?
I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Mrs. Sato,
Oh, you love defending yourself in court.
Huh?
Gosh.
It's alright. I'm perfectly happy to testify.
Oh my fucking god.
He really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See?
This doesn't help.
Mr. Holmes?
I'm gonna kill you.
Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly, any word you like. Blow it out, my dear fellow.
Bitch!
Oh yes, I love Ryu's words, and I know just the one he'll use here.
You shouldn't know this word.
Then, I really must say...
Objection!
Fuck you. Okay.
Fuck you. Oh, that's a
You
weird, like,
slapped him.
texture on his middle
Oh.
finger. Yeah,
It's him in court the next day.
Takumi, the original director of the trilogy, came back for this one.
That's cool. That's cool.
Man.
Yeah.
In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot, though it transpired that I had ordered them all myself. So I had
Oh, of
advertised them
course.
for sale with, used by Mr. Holmes to solve an important case.
Lightly
And the money
used.
I've earned, consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. But yeah, I
Why
enjoyed this
Kazuya?
a lot. Especially the voice
Yeah.
acting, like, even if I wasn't good at it, it was still entertaining.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Holmesy usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement. With some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfasts.
Christ.
God. But yeah, I liked pretty much all the characters, even like the Tin Pillars. I was sick of them
They
at
were
one
funny.
point, but like they were funny. Oh,
Oh,
Witness!
here he is
your
again.
testimony!
Oh, I did him, right?
oh, you did.
Witness, your testimony is riddled with contradictions.
Exactly! Really, do rare Copain coins hide under rare stakes themselves? Well, Kuzumaru knows his son is an innocent man, or are you calling my son a liar? Witnesses, the
fucking
courtroom is no
guessing
place for
in
your
the
petty
box.
arguments.
He had a deeper voice. I completely forgot what he was like.
We gotta do them on the fucking spot here. We haven't
Yeah.
seen these guys in like hours. Who's it gonna be now?
Hours. We haven't seen them
Oh,
in
yeah,
like
him.
6 months.
Having delivered the Russian dancer to shore in Shanghai, I laid low on the steamship for a while. Last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board.
I've done nothing wrong! All I did was give Wagahai's offspring refuge in my pocket. A man brings some kittens on board and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair.
Fuck.
Good. Good.
My god.
Of course. Wait, is
Oh, it's
Vegahai male?
Scientific investigation would be the gold standard in policing of the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts mesh together in perfect unison.
Really is a Pokemon villain.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have about 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment.
What is his hair doing?
I
What's
don't
going
know.
on?
You could ask that about a lot
Yeah.
of characters in this.
Yeah.
The latest Rants magazine is out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Wanna hear it?
No.
Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur.
Where's my standing ovation?
God.
Ah, her ladyship puts me to shame.
Surprised he kept his job.
Yeah. That is a story. Like, how did he get out of that?
Yeah. Well, he's a detective.
Maybe his salary was cut. Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Joining my old jailbird. Must say, battling with those bally stairs every now has done wonders for my dicky peg. Managing rather well with the housework too. Got this maid business taped up, I'd say. Here, the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of the house is his own maid.
Awesome. Someone draw him in a maid outfit now.
It's, no. It's on the canon.
Yeah. Oh, these
Oh.
guys again. Fuck.
My Patrick is back on the beat again. Oh, thanks to
There's
the
nothing I
Reaper.
enjoy more these days than hunting outfits for a small change in the gutter. I'm a better Bobby now, looking out for Londoners. They're dropped pennies and my lovely wife. Oh, Pat.
Hi, Patrick.
Okay, well, they're still doing their fucking thing.
They're still doing it.
True. I still think these two look like fucking like toys that have been brought to life.
Yeah, they do.
They look weird.
They look very Professor Layton.
Yeah. She's in jail.
Looks like I'm gonna be doing time for a bit now. But Iris comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. She's always going on about all them cases what Holmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into them.
Is she gonna be like a detective when she gets out of prison or what?
I hope so.
They let you do that with a criminal record?
I mean, in the age this is set in, probably. Oh,
Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please. Give over, bruv. This ain't the Ash we used to know.
We got time in here to plan a comeback of Milverton and Timberless Maker, right?
The three Musquatists milk the neighborhood for all it's worth.
Okay. Normal fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
Surprised they let all three of them be in the jail cell together.
The prisons in Ace Attorney have always had some very strange rules.
True. The hell? These past 6 months has been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that's what life is all about. Naruhodo, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. It won't. We know it won't.
God. Oh,
Over in here. Okay.
somewhere.
Is he gonna paint the eye on the Dharma?
Aw.
Oh, they put the oh, that's where the picture's from. Okay. Pictures taken before disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. The cat's about to attack something.
It already is. Also, is Wagaheim male? I thought-
Maybe. Oh,
He did.
credits.
Oh, okay. Short king.
Well.
Oh, okay. Where are we going? Where are we headed, Joker, my man? Oh, okay.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I think I can now say that I've enjoyed this thoroughly, despite it lasting 6 months.
Yeah.
It's almost become like a routine. It's gonna be weird that this is not going to be like something
Yeah.
to do every week, or plan out every week at least.
Yeah.
But there's still the second game, so
Conveniently, they are giving us all these characters in a lineup so we can compare their heights.
that's the most important thing.
The
How-
most important thing for fan
How
artists.
tall
Oh, yeah.
is Naruhodo?
He's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Short king.
It's about
I'm
as tall as
Enterprise.
how Apollo is. I'm
He's
Enterprise.
He's 5'5" with the horns, I'm pretty sure. So he's
Yeah.
like 5'2" without them.
My god. Oh,
Damn,
the
Beef
sailors.
Stroganoff fucking tall as shit.
Yeah.
I am Stroganoff.
I love
He's so
doing
sick.
his character.
Keyframe cleanup. Damn, I guess they have to do a lot of that because this was a game with motion capture
Yeah, yeah.
in between.
Additional
Yeah, they did a lot on the animations.
Yeah. I do
Oh,
wish
okay.
that they
Bye.
have a 7th game in the main series someday.
She's not even that much shorter than him. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe
I mean, she's
Even
like sort of
so.
crouching right now.
that too. But she's not even that much shorter, even without it.
Real tea.
Real tea. The
but
camera's leaving without you.
Goddamn. Additional assistance.
Oh, he's coming back.
Oh, he's got the sword. Or the katana.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that Kazuma's headband tied around it?
yeah, that's I think that's like he mentions that in the
notice
second
before.
case, but yeah, he says it like
Yeah.
that the katana is like his soul.
Yeah.
And that's his head.
One of these is gonna be Sherlock, isn't it? No, it's just.
I
the
don't
two.
think it's them, yeah.
Now I'm on high alert.
And there he is.
The bitch who ruined everything.
Naruhodo just does like the Gandalf scare gesture at him. It's like,
Russian dying message.
what a credit.
I just saw that as it faded out. Like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, there he is. Quality
The other
assurance.
bitch who ruined everything. Oh, no, he's walking with us. No, I didn't. We didn't ask you to join us. Go away.
But yeah, next thing I plan to do, probably like after Christmas, I'll start like a Sam and Max game. I'm not sure which one
Yeah.
yet, but I'll do one, and then we'll see if we'll do part 2 of this or we'll wait.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
Yeah,
of
sure.
like planning this out. But
Yeah.
I definitely want to do the second game.
Yeah. Fair.
Because this
I'd
wasn't
like to do it
blind,
too.
and I've said this a bunch of times already, but I've only seen a playthrough of this once, so I didn't remember a lot of the details.
Yeah.
The second game,
Damn,
though, I
Herb
don't...
Van Zeeks is so tall. Jesus.
Oh yeah, he is.
Like, Sherlock is already fairly tall, and now we walk past him, and he's even taller.
Yeah.
Ugh,
He's
you
like
have to show us his
Dracula
ass.
tall. Oh, there is she again in the background.
Yeah. She's gonna shoot us as we go by. No.
Maybe she won't have the
No,
time.
the loading animation isn't finished. It took too long for her to do the loading animation.
She's like, God damn it!
Rocco cable car. I guess that would make sense. I
Yeah,
had to go around and make sure it was, like, accurate.
yeah. But yeah, the second game, I only know like the first 2 cases, and the rest I don't know.
I know very little about the second game other than, like, a few characters and some spoilers, which I won't disclose, obviously.
Capcom.
Everyone do this silly pose.
Do your designated silly pose. Finn.
What a good game.
Yeah. And good job on you for sticking out for the entire line.
Yeah. Oh,
Fleeting farewell.
he looks weird with the cape on.
He looks bald. It's
He
Naruto.
looks bald. He really looks like he's wearing a wig. Okay, now what? Is there
Title
anything
screen,
else that it
probably.
shows us?
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Fair enough.
Mhm. Is there anything else it gives us after we beat the game, or
You can look at the special content.
special content?
Only the... I wanted to show the accolades, yeah.
Accolades.
Maybe I can maybe
Oh.
preview the... Yeah, the Great Ace Attorney for being awarded all the other, and we don't have that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one we
Yeah.
just got, Fleeting Farewell. This one,
Yeah, alright.
Inconsistency Seer. Yeah, First Press, First Present. Oh yeah,
These
that's...
are all the achievements, right?
Yeah, these are the achievements.
Hello, perfectionist.
Hat Hunter, this is a rare one, apparently.
Huh.
For being
Okay.
identified the millionaires responsible for the victim's hat in the episode 3. The violin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The woman.
A woman?
This is the one that we...
Sulky
we
story.
missed, yeah.
Big bruv Sulky.
Yeah. This is the...
Sherlockian. Oh!
This is the one that is still in progress, because there's more in the second game.
Ace Attorney 2. Yeah, great Ace Attorney 2.
Yeah.
Alright.
For having
Hands
wrung
for the debate about
your
ladders
hands
and
for every
steps.
debate about ladders and
Oh,
step
I get
ladders.
it. I'm guessing that's also... Yep.
Yeah. Is this in...
This one.
Okay, it's all in the... Wait,
Pretty sure that's
it's only
all
2 of them,
parts.
okay. Ace of Spades for having background for every argument about shovels and spades. We've done 2 of the 8, I
Yeah.
think.
Everything else is in episode 2.
For having played the
Oh,
game
that's
in
the
all
DLC
available
one, right?
outfits. Yeah. So
I think you need the DLC.
Yeah, yeah. And the rest is, I
Yeah.
believe, for the second game.
Yeah.
So,
You get,
I can show the
fucking
alternative...
Sherlock's gay little outfit.
Yeah. Because I will
Iris'
be
homemade
using them, I'm pretty sure, for the second game.
That's
Uh,
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's more like Phoenix.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
got the tie and everything.
Yeah, I don't think I can rotate it, so...
Sad.
Iris' homemade dress. There it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
Very-
it's really her style, but it is cute.
Yeah, I don't think it's her style that much, but it's like steampunk-ish.
Yeah.
I might toggle
Sherlock
this one.
Holmes.
And then there's Holmes' Japanese jumble mix. Fucking
Ah,
yeah.
get rid of that. I didn't want to say take that off because that would have other implications.
Take that off. Okay, credits, auditorium,
Escapades. Okay.
and gallery.
Various portraits.
And there's
Short
also this,
excerpts?
like the escapades
Friends
are like
magazine.
the very short episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if we'll be doing them. Maybe after the last game.
Maybe another time.
Yeah. If we really feel like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be the finale of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. And we'll see you some other time, hopefully, with the second game.
Yeah.
Same.
Probably next year at this point.
Same. Well, definitely next year.
Yeah, we'll have to take a short break for other things.
How's that one quote go? Same bad time.
Same bat time,
channel.
same bat channel. Yeah.
Alright, have a good night, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, bye, have a beautiful time.